Hey guys, DynastyWarriors6 here on a Wednesday video of top 10 favorites of Super Nintendo, as you probably could tell by the title. So I tried to make it a top 5, I really did, but it was so hard to pick for top 5 regarding one system. You know, it's kind of easier to pick top 10 favorites regarding all systems, but when it comes down to one system, for top 5 it's really tough. So I decided to do top 10 instead. So there's still a top 5, it's just I felt like I wanted to show a little bit more gaming-wise and everything like that. So I'll start off with 10 and work our way down to number 1. So number 10 is Sim City on Super Nintendo. I loved Sim City as a kid. Sim City was one of those funny games. I love putting the cheat in where you can get like $5 million or something like that. It's a funny game. The guy who is advising you is real funny. I like this game a lot. I think this is one of the first few pickups I got for when I started retro collecting. But it's a good game and it's really fun. If you've never played SimCity, which I doubt, but if you haven't, definitely give this one a try. It's not bad at all. It's very funny. So next up on the top 10 list for number 9 is NBA Jam Tournament Edition. I loved NBA Jam at the arcades. I loved NBA Jam at home. Me and my brother Daniel and Matthew would play this game like nobody's business. We could go 4 or 5 hours with winning every game, like an 82-0 record, unlocking the secret teams, all that stuff. It's an amazing game. It's a lot of fun. I'm actually currently among my friends undefeated. Suck it, yeah. I'm that good. Jason. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah. I actually am undefeated though among my friends. I've had 1 or 2 really close games. One that was really exciting where I won by a buzzer beater. Yeah, I did it. So, yep. NBA Jam is number 9, definitely though. Number 8. Now, sadly, this game for me wasn't exactly my favorite game back then, but I did play it a lot. It's one of those games I kind of grew accustomed to for playing, and it was Street Fighter 2. Daniel, my brother, is a big Street Fighter fan, and he's a big fighting fan. He loves Halo, he loves Street Fighter, he loves Call of Duty. I like Halo and Call of Duty, and he loves Street Fighter, and he is really good at it. Like, no joke, he's one of the best I've ever seen play, like, physically. And he's amazing. He knows how to time everything. He understands timing. He understands everything. And he's always either Ryu or Akuma or Ken. He's always one of those 3. So, Daniel used to force me to play this game a lot back then just because no one else would play with him. Well, I kind of gave in after a while, played with him. He always won. I think there was only like a couple times where I actually won. But other than that, he won like every time. But I grew to like the game overall. I used to go over to friends' houses and play and beat them because my brother Daniel was so good that I actually got better because of it. But the problem was Daniel was so far ahead of me, and leagues and fields ahead of me. So number 8 was Street Fighter 2. Number 7, and I know this is kind of low for a lot of guys who would consider this definitely higher, but for me it's just number 7 because I wasn't as big into it, but it's Donkey Kong Country 1. Donkey Kong Country, I think, was a very good game. I remember seeing the trailer for it. I remember watching it on TV, wanting it, and I got it, and I love the game. I've beaten it and everything, and I've seen the ending a couple times, and I love the game. The thing is, though, I just wasn't really interested in it after I beat it. Like, I lost a lot of interest in it. It's just one of those games that kind of fell off for me. Like, after I beat it, I got bored of it real quickly. Like, there wasn't a lot of replay ability in it, and I don't know. A lot of guys might say, well, you don't understand. You should like it, or it should be higher. Maybe it should have been like number 4, but I don't know. This is just me, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I still consider it a very good game in my personal top 10. All right, and next up for number, oh gosh, I think this is 9, 8, 7, 6. I always have trouble going backwards. 6. Super Mario All-Stars for number 6. Super Mario All-Stars, what I loved about it was a retro cart. It was built into it. It had 4 different games into it. The Super Mario Brothers, 1, Lost Levels, 2, and 3. It just was a great game to play. It was a fun game. It updated the graphics of everything. It looked better. It played somewhat better. Some people argue that the fact that you couldn't do the little glitch jumps, that was a problem. If you're doing the speed runs, I can see that. But if you're not, it's not a big deal. So, I like Super Mario All-Stars. I thought it was a great addition to the Super Nintendo library. I remember getting it like it was like my second or third video game I ever got on Super Nintendo. So, not bad there on that one. Alright, and number 5. Yeah, 5. And of course, this is the first game I ever got, a lot of people got. It was Super Mario World. It was amazing. I loved the trailers for it. It played great. Everything they said about it was true. It was awesome. It was funny. The Yoshi, the cape, everything. It was just a great game. It was the first game I ever got because it came with the system. I played me and my brother Dan would do the 2-player, like we would play together, or or we just switch off, and we just played the living tar out of this game, finding every secret Star Road, changing the world up to the Mario heads and stuff like that. It was just one of those great games, and there's just no two ways about it. It was a fantastically well done game. Number 4, and there's probably some people are going to think this should be higher on the list too, but it's one of my favorite, but there was just others that I knew or that I love better. And it's Super Mario RPG Legend of the 7 Stars. This game, I remember seeing it and not being really sold on it, and I wasn't much of an RPG fan when I was a kid. Like, I really wasn't. I wasn't into the grinding. It wasn't until I hit PlayStation, that's when I started falling in love with RPGs. But for Super Nintendo, I wasn't really into it. I was kind of like, I don't know about this. It's kind of weird. But I got it, or I think Daniel or me got this game, and I don't know if he started playing and got bored, or if I started playing and just kept playing. I can't remember exactly the details, but I just remember really falling in love with the game, loving the storyline, loving that Bowser actually becomes a playable character. Gino and Marrow and Princess Peach, Toad is more of a secondary character. Link's in the game. Samus is in the game somewhere, I believe, I've heard. But, it's got that one guy you can fight from another dimension. And it's just a lot of great characters, a lot of great storyline. Good, just a solid title of a game, and just fun to play. I got in my game, I had the lazy shell. I actually got the lazy shell and everything like that. I got almost, and I beat the sensei guy and stuff like that all 3 times. So it's a great game. I love Super Mario RPG. Number 3, considered, of course, one of the greatest Super Nintendo games that was ever produced. For a lot of guys, just because it was Turtles in Time. Number 4, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4 and Turtles in Time, made by Konami. This game was ridiculous. It was fun. 2 people could play. You could set the difficulty to easy, normal, or hard. Me and my brother Daniel did beat it on hard. It's really hard if you actually set it up to hard and play by yourself. Then the game is actually very challenging because you actually have to think about what you're doing. But it's a fun game nonetheless. It's just a funny game. A lot of funny little, tidbits and stuff. It's just Cowboy, Bebop and Rocksteady. Just so many villains are there. Leatherjack, I think, and it's just everybody. And I love this game. And one of my top 10 favorite games of all time, too. Next up, number 2. I have a lot of friends who hate this game, but I really enjoy it. I find it a fantastic game. And it's Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. I find this game absolutely awesome, but I have a couple friends who think it's absolute garbage. And I'm not knocking them or saying, you don't know video games. Some people find this game fantastic. Some people find this game absolutely horrible and horrendous, and it has no business being a Super Nintendo game. It's not a Super Mario game. It's, Yoshi. That's the title, Yoshi's Island. See that? See that? All right. So, it was just one of those games, and I loved it. I fell in love with it. I played it. I beat it. I love Baby Bowser becoming the giant Bowser. I just love this game. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it sucks. You can't." Or some people say it sucks, but I consider it my personal favorite, number 2 favorite. And of course, number one is, as a lot of people are probably assuming, I'm guessing, are thinking, it's Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Number one favorite game of all time. You know, everyone, a lot of people will say it was, you know, there's a lot of obvious reasons why I chose Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. It's a great game. It's a lot of fun. You know, weapons, the ice wand, the fire wand, hook shot, boomerang. You know, the weapons are endless. The lamp. You know, it's just just a great amount of stuff in this game, and it's just a ton of fun to play. It's a great game. If you've never played it, you should definitely play it. I'm assuming everyone's at least played this game at least once. Maybe not beaten it, but at least played it. I've beaten the game a dozen times, I think, at least 8 times in my lifetime. I've beaten the game from start to finish. Though I did have trouble on the second to last boss for a couple of years. I actually had to have my Aunt Judy beat it for me once because I couldn't do it. But, you know, that's a different story. But the game is great. It's a lot of fun. If you've never played it, definitely play it. You know, I highly recommend any of these games I'm listing. If you have not played, you know, any of these games, definitely play them. If you get the chance, or if you find them, or you have them, or something, you know, definitely try them out. They're all great games. But number one is definitely Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I know I left out some titles that people would say, how could you? That would have probably been in my top 15, like Super Metroid, I know, Star Fox, I know, Super Mario Kart. But I wasn't as big a fan of those games as a lot of other people were. This is, you know, my personal list, but I just wasn't that big of a fan. There were other games that I played a lot more as a kid. I'm not saying I didn't have Metroid as a kid. You know, I consider Metroid a great game, no doubt. But, you know, I kind of found it boring for myself because I wasn't really into just going around this dark, dank cave and shooting creatures all day. You know, Mega Man was that game for me, you know, and, you know, Mega Man X, you know, that would be my top 15. But anyways, this is top 10 personal favorites. So any of these games, if you've never played them or you've never tried them out, definitely try them out. They are totally worth it, especially SimCity, and, you know, that's a funny one. So this is my top 10 list. We're gonna try to shoot for another top 10 this Sunday. I'm trying to decide which one it is. I will be open to suggestions. Also, I'm thinking about possibly doing which I said I was going to possibly do, maybe next week on Wednesday, a Q&A video. Where me and Jason, Camman Jason, will answer some questions again. I know a lot of people have asked about that. So now that we have got more time, we can do a Q&A video again. So thanks guys for tuning in. Thanks for listening off to my list. If you got any other chance, check out any of our other videos, and have a great week.